show. Hey, listen, we're going to get right at it. Look, I've got some faxes here. I've got questions asked me all the time. For instance, Bill from PEI. He says in the original 6 they hit harder back then. Bill boy, I hate to tell you, back then they hit to hurt. Now they hit to put you out of the game. Watch this. Hey, kids, don't get caught with your head down or you'll pay the price. Just watch. Watch these guys thread the needle, starting with Paul Correa. Emo's not going to put them all in. Greer to Morrow and in. Shanahan to Iserman to McCarty and in. EVY tips it home. Joe Newendike, hey, looks like Wayne here. Nice pass to Sim and in. Linden to Rakowski. Hey, watch Pataglia take the man like he should have. He passes to Capina, to Francis, and in. Tic-tac-toe to Nolan. Here's a nice give and go by Sakic. Alfie sees Blake sneaking in, gives it to him and in. Wait feeds Guerin. Watch Mike Badano bang away and knock this one past Patrick. Sakic to Bork, top corner. Watch this little backhand move, and Sakura puts it in. Carmino, nice soft pass to Kirk Muller, and tips it in. Alexan to Carter. All right, this is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, one of my favorite cities. It's Kurt. And he says, look, I'm a goaltender. I have friends who are goaltenders. And what they do is they put on that segment, you know, of the goaltenders making saves so they get up for the game. All right, Kurt, we're going to make a nice long one for you. And for all you goaltenders, just before you go to the game, cue it up and get on there and keep kicking them out. by Sean Hill. Just imagine if these guys didn't have the mask. You often wonder how the old goalies survived. Sure makes you wonder. Hey folks, I've never seen anything like this in my life before. Look at this shot. Hits the stick, goes right up and hits the mask. Can you imagine if he didn't have this mask on? And like I said, how the old guys get away with it, I don't know. It's still alive. Look where it goes. Anyhow, they couldn't bend the wire back up, so they went and got the Philly Phantom. That's where he played before wire mask. Went out and he played great. These goaltenders are a different breed of cat. Hey folks, I'll tell you, every goalie will tell you the biggest friend he's got on the ice is the post. Just watch these and listen to them. From Brent from Calgary. He said, Don, I love you. Hey, I love you on Hockey Night in Canada. And I say, who doesn't? Anyhow, he wants to know the funniest things I've seen in hockey. Well, I'll tell you a few I can tell. Now, I remember one time it was in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Duquesne Gardens. I think Howie Meeker was coaching, and we were losing, and we had our goalie out, right? And they had a pretty good club. And a guy named Jerry, and I'm not going to say his last name, he's living in Sudbury right now. He gets a puck and he gets a breakaway. He's home free. All he has to do is go that. But no, Jerry's going to make the big wind-up, eh? And he's going to blast it. So I can still see him going down the left side. He winds up. Just as he goes to shoot, he hits a rut, and he goes head first into the boards, and the puck goes by. It's the first time I've ever seen both clubs. Now, the puck is laying there. Somebody can pick it up, put it in the net. Both clubs were on their hands and knees lying. They were laughing their heads off. Now, I know the hockey players are strange back in those days. I guess guy could have had a broken neck. Anyhow, they get him on the stairs. This is a true story. They get him on the stretcher, and they're lifting him up. The stretcher breaks, and it pulls out 6 vertebrae of the guy. So all for him not going like that, here all these things happen. He ended up, he had a cracked vertebrae, I think, and the other guy was out 6 months. Anyhow, you had to be there to see that one. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Both teams killing themselves with the puck line in front of the net. Folks, I don't know what's going on, but I've never in my life saw so much glass broken as this year. Watch these here. Used to be 1 or 2 pieces, but look at it go here. Hey, I'll tell you something. I don't mind when the glass shatters, but I don't like it when it pops out, because that's big, heavy stuff. Yeah, take a look at this one. His skate hardly touches it. Folks, you're going to see what the camera sees. Hey, when you're on the ice, you gotta look out for your buddies. Checking his teeth. Yeah, Scott, check them good. They're all there. I'll tell you something, folks. I don't like that camera in the penalty box. It makes the guys look like dummy. They're sitting there. Hey, here's the two dummies that got the penalty. Evidently, these guys don't like it either. Hey, I don't want to say that Theo Fleury had a tough year last year. He couldn't even put a sweater straight. See if you can see what happens here. Hey, this is a funny one. Garth Snow makes the save, and two pucks all of a sudden appear. One must have been stuck in his pads, and then it fell out. Never seen that before either. Hey, sometimes you're on the good side of the highlight reel, and sometimes you're on the bad side, right, Sergi? The Eagle says, of all the guys you have to give it to, Stevie Wonder Yzerman. More hits, you better keep your head up, remember. There's a great hit by Ty. Yeah, like he said, hey, Tavares, how did you like that hit? Keep a good man down, eh, Darcy? All right, now here's a good one. Jason from Mississauga says, Grapes, I see you around all the rinks, minor hockey here, and the practices and that. He says, what bugs you the most when you go to these practices and games? Well, I'm going to tell you my pet peeve. It's the coaches saying, pass the puck. Pass the puck. And I hear the parents yelling, pass the puck. Don't be a puck hog. Let me tell you something. Everybody that shoots the puck scores goals. It's only natural. Pavel Bure, he had the most shots in the league last year, and he scored the most goals. How about Brent Hall? Patrick Waugh must have been dreaming about him. Shoot the puck, kids. That's how you score. Brett was a little boy, his daddy taught him to shoot the puck, and boy, did Brett listen to his daddy. Watch these Rockets. Can't score them all, not on a great goalie like Patrick. Now watch some of these cannons. Then it puts one right through the net. Here's the king of the slap shot, Al McInnes. Look, Al shoots so hard he put the puck right through the boards during the warm-up. Kirk says, what the heck is Al shooting them that hard to warm up anyhow? Hey, watch these beauties save. Nobody likes tougher hockey than me, but I sure hate to see the goalies run like this. It's not right. Yeah, the Dominator had a tough playoff versus Philly. They knew how to ring his bell. The Dominator says, that's it, I've had enough. Hey, Shields didn't have a walk park last year either. He's had enough too. I know how to stop the goalies from being run without adding one new rule. The solution, put the pipes back in and watch the players start to avoid cutting to the net, I'll tell you. And another thing I hate, guys going in and spraying the goaltenders. What kind of stuff is that? No respect. Goalies are tough guys, and sometimes they fight back. Hey, life as a ref and linesman, it's not an easy one. What's that penalty for? Getting in the way, ref? And there's Carey, 6 stitches in the noggin and not a hair out of place. Philly has McKinley all lined up, right? No way. And worst of all, look what happens. And not only the poor refs and linesmen have to look out for the players, they have to put up with the coaches, too. Watch. I have no idea what Bob is saying here. Joel's giving him an earful, though. Scotty's saying, rabbit ears, rabbit ears, rabbit ears. Hey, Robbie Fatorik has a nice toss here. I didn't think he was that strong. And here's what I used to do, too. Take and throw the gum. Watch Pat. And Pat's calling somebody yappy, yappy. And here's that great coach for the Montreal Canadiens, Alain Vigneault. Kevin Lowe says, enough of this coaching stuff. I'm getting out of here, and I'm going to be a GM next year. Ron Wilson asked Matthew Barnaby, is your arm sore? Is your arm sore? Ooh. Not only do the refs get it from the coaches, but they get it from the goalies, too. Hey, watch Dominic. He always seems to be upset. He says, give me another one. CBU Cujo is a little upset here. He said he was interrupted. He wants a little chat with MakeMKV. Hey, I gotta tell you something. Mick's a pretty good guy. He didn't say anything. Just told him to get back in his crease. Good guy. Hey, kids, pay attention when you're on the bench. Keep your eye on those flying pucks, and I'm not kidding. I've seen some bad injuries from this. Hey, when I was coaching, I get hit a few times, too. Watch Ken, he says, wow, wow. Hey, what's one of my tapes without something funny happened to Mike Modano? If he isn't falling off the stretcher, or his pants isn't falling down, he's getting knocked into the bench. Hey, look at Deadmarsh laughing at him. Mike, you made it again. Okay, change him up. Watch out for that blue line. It'll get you every time. And don't you notice they always seem to score when you do something like that? Well, almost every time. Hey, these sticks cost $100. I bet if he was paying for them, he wouldn't do that. Hey, this is one of my favorites. Steve from Kamloops, BC, wants to know if I thought Scott Stevens should have won the MVP of the playoffs. Are you kidding me? He was a one-man wrecking crew. Let me tell you something. He had guys terrified. Some of them wouldn't even come over the blue line. The coaches on, you know who I'm talking about, too, had to get cattle prods to get them over the boards. This guy's a pit bull looking for trouble. Are you ready? Watch him do his stuff. I call this the eyes. You know why? I was talking to a member of the family of Scott just before the game where he hit Lindros. And she said, I'm going to go up and sit up way high. And I said, how come? She says, I sat down on the first row, and I was scared of his eyes. His eyes absolutely scare me. She says, I've never seen his eyes like that. And boy, he's got the eyes of a pit bull. And you come down, he's going to nail you. Now watch this. This is a strange one coming up, folks. Scott catches Langhow with his head down coming along the blue line, right? Bawango. Now Scott catches Eric Bawango in the same spot. Watch. Look, take a look at this. I tell you, folks, it's deja vu. And I'll tell you another thing. He had guys terrified out there. They didn't even want to cross the blue line. You know what? I don't blame them.
The Warrior. The Warrior. Scott Stevens, the Warrior.
He wasn't too happy here, was he? Hey, Scott's not only a banger, he chipped in with a few goals. Watch this beauty. 2 Two-time Stanley Cup winner and MVP indeed. Hey, but Scott wasn't the only one throwing his weight around. I think, folks, they were really hitting that Colorado-Dallas series. Understand it. I can't believe somebody said the finals were boring. Are you kidding me? Watch this action. Let's go. Sally from North Bay, Ontario. Hope, first of all, hey, you like this suit? I'll tell you. This suit got more comments than any suit I wore in the playoff. Can't figure it out. Oh, my lime suits and all that. Anyhow, must be the cut or something. Sally from North Bay wants to know, what do I think now the minor leagues are going to call OT sudden life? I mean, come on. Instead of sudden death, hey, these guys have never, ever been in overtime games because I'll tell you something. The degree of happiness when you win never matches the degree of unhappiness when you lose. Anyhow, it might be sudden life for those guys, but when you lose, it's sudden death. Watch. Starting with my buddy Stevie Thomas. Watch this. Favorites, Louis Barnes. Here's Yelmer. Hey, I got it right. Just put it on the net, folks. I love it when those Vegas defensemen score. Right, Andy? Hey, top corner. Good hands, Andy boy. And here's hard-working Keith Primo. Hey, folks, this one went 5 overtimes. And then Keith makes a nice move on Casper Wright and then ends it in a hurry. Way to go, Keith. What a move. Joe Newnight scores the winner. Just put it on the net. That's all you have to do. Hey, you notice how many overtime goals always start from a point? With the beautiful teeth. Hey, watch it, just like Joe's goal. All flips it on the net, and Mike tips it just past Martin. Jason Arnott. Hey, this is every kid's dream while you're playing road hockey. I'll tell you, he scores the Stanley Cup winner in overtime. Can you imagine, too? Are they happy or what? All right, here's one I get asked all the time. Steve from Burnaby, BC, wants to know if I could have one player to start a franchise. Well, I'll tell you, it'd be nobody else but Cujo. Curtis Joseph. He'll steal you a game, he'll steal you a series, and someday he's going to win the Stanley Cup. Cujo for sure. Hey, watch these beauty saves. Who says Barrison never back checks? If Scott Stevens wasn't the MVP, this guy would have been. Battle of the goalies in the semifinals. Patrick versus Eddie the Eagle. They went save for 7 games. Game 7, the difference was Madonna's shot goes off the post and in. Bork's shot rings off the post and out. That's the difference, folks. Hey, and here's a rookie, Brian Boucher, who made some spectacular saves in the last year's playoffs. Looks like he was taking a lesson from Hasek. Hey, folks, this is for all you Wendell Clark fans out there, and believe me, I'm one of them. Wendell. And here's Wendell taking on another one of my favorites, Bobby Probert. You know, I've never been able to figure out something. When Wendell was taking on the big guys like Probert and all those big guys, the people said he shouldn't take and fight those and hit those big guys. So then he takes their advice and stops hitting the big guys, and then they say he's not the Wendell of old. He couldn't win. I still say he should be playing. It's a shame he retired.
Pay the price.
Folks, remember this hat trick in Game 6 of the semifinals in '92? Here he comes off the bench. Dougie feeds him a beauty. Look at that. He puts it home with a great wrist shot, and it goes into overtime. But I won't tell you what happened after. You remember. Hey, this was last year, and they say he couldn't play. It's sad they let him go.
Warrior.
This was last year in the playoffs. Now Wendell puts away Ottawa. Folks, this was his last goal. Thanks for all the memories, Wendell. You're a beauty. Now watch these pretty goals. Bertuzzi. Jaeger with a wrister. Roenick. Lindstrom with a zinger. Fedorov. Hayduk. Sakic. Stevie Wonder Yzerman. Eddie Donato. Connolly. Latowski with a nice low shot. Top corner, Korolev. Hey, here's a knuckleball from Ward. Boy, look at that Correa put on the Jets. Forsberg around and around and around and in. One of my favorites, Stevie Sullivan with a beauty. Oiler Smith pulls it wide and puts it home. Watch Pronger knock it out of the air. Phillies Gagne with a nice one in the playoffs. Arnott splits the defense and pushes it home. Match just snaps it on the net. Boy, he has nice teeth, just like Mike. Watch these beauty hits. Bring it on. Dave from Kingston. A lot of famous guys come from there. Beautiful city. Dave wants to know if I could take one rule in the National Hockey League, what would it be? It would be the instigator rule. You knew that. Was put in about 10 years ago. Worst rule in sports. You don't believe me? Watch this. Now watch this one, folks. Eric doesn't even have the puck, pulling off cheap shots. And now Luke comes in to protect his star. Guess who gets the extra two? Doesn't make any sense to me. And now here's Matthew Barnaby back checking on one of my favorites, Darcy Tucker. Now you see they're going to have a little disagreement here. I would rather have them do this, and I know a lot of people don't like disagreements like this, but I would rather have them do this than wait till his back's turned and drive him into the boards head first. I never like that stuff, or high stick him in the face, or elbow him and put him in the hospital. At least they go. They're two honest guys going. Matthew is just biding his time here. Lily says, no, 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 don't stop it. Let it go. And Darcy, he's not looking at anybody. He just wants a piece of him. Now watch Darcy's eyes. They are really something. He wants to go. Again, they really go. And you'll see Matthew, he switches hands here a little earlier. And I hate it. See, he switched hands right there. And I hated when guys did that, but it didn't make any difference. Now, these guys aren't heavyweights, but they go. You cannot believe how tired you are when this is over. It looks like Darcy's enjoying this. And I think Matthew's getting a little tired, but he still wants to go. You notice how the fighters always have small shoulder pads because they don't want to get them in the way. Boy, are they tired right now, but they won't quit. The linesman's letting them go. Watch Matthew. Whoa, what a fight. And look at the players. They love it. Darcy. Now here's two captains. Now in this game here, this was a chippy game. Guys were running around, banging one another. We have Owen Nolan, captain. Shane Corson, he's a captain. So they said, they threw down their gloves. Let's stop all this nonsense. You and I, the two leaders, the two captains will settle it, and we'll settle this game. Well, you can see these are the heavyweights. These guys are good heavyweights and good hockey players. They're not goons. They can score goals, and they're captains. And you know what happened, folks? The game settled down. There was no more chippiness, and the game just got on. That's the way it used to be. Two good guys going at it. And I'll tell you, hey, I love them both. That's it for another year, folks. Boy, I love doing these tapes, and I know you people love them out there, too. How many of you people noticed how many changes I made? Aren't they beautiful? I'll tell you. Anyhow, we're going to end up with some great plays, as we usually do. See you next year. Mitch from Sydney, Nova Scotia says, Remember those beautiful Grapevine shows I did? Boy, they were great shows. I had a lot of fun on them. You know, everybody sees me how great I am on television now. I have to tell you, back then, my very first show, I was so scared, Ralph Mallenby, the producer, had to come over and hold my hand. I couldn't say, here's Gordie Howe. So I still couldn't. He actually held my hand, still couldn't do it. So he come up with the idea, and I thought it was a great idea. He got a great big picture of Blue, and you know who Blue is, and he said, just look into Blue's eyes and tell her what's coming up. And that's what I had. Tonight on the Grapevine show, we have the great hockey player, Gordie Howe, coming right up. And that's the way I did it. I'll tell you, folks, I had so much fun then. And you know what happened? I have to tell you, it's a sad story. The breakup party, I went back to get it and thank Blue and everything. Somebody had stolen the picture. I tell you, folks, I'm glad I didn't catch the guy because I'd be still in jail today. Anyhow, you know who I'm starting off with, the greatest hockey player who ever lived, Bobby Orr.
Grapes is talking to old Blue. There's lots of heroes from the sports world too. So when you want to have a good time, come on down to the Grapevine. Come on down to
That's two. Now tell us about that overtime goal that everybody talks about and I talk about. We're running on our opening, and tell us about that overtime goal against St. Louis. What happened there?
Oh, I don't remember that well, Don, but,
Yeah.
but
You want me to tell it?
the puck was coming up the boards, and I stayed in at the blue line to knock it back into the corner, and I really was lucky. If it had gone by me, it probably would have been a 2-0 on our goal, but I put it back in the corner to Derek Sanderson, and I went to the front of the net, and I'd like to tell you that after receiving a great pass from Derek, I would like to tell you that I turned the puck up on its edge and looked between his legs and just laid it between them. What really happened was I went to the front of the net, and as I was moving across, Glenn Hall was the goalie, and he had to move with me. And as he moved across, I let the puck go. I did not, and his legs opened as he moved across, and it went between his legs. But I did not pick a spot. I just put it on the net.
Sure looked like you picked a spot.
Well, thank you.
So never mind that. I want to get to the 72 series right off the bat. What was the mood in the training camp and before the first game?
Before the first game, in the mood was, we were told by scouts, who at the time were the Toronto Maple Leaf scouts, and that team had ended up in last place, and we found out why. They told us that they couldn't play very well, and what's his name, Trechak, couldn't stop a balloon. But what they forgot to tell us was the day they scouted him was the night after his wedding.
Oh. Well, that does take something out of your legs.
It could, yeah. I mean, and we ended up watching these guys practice and saying, wow, these guys can skate, these guys can motor, these guys can do everything properly. And we have to get ourselves in shape. And a lot of the press and everything else said, yeah, the Canadians were doing their training in the bar, over ice cubes and stuff like that. I'm not saying that we didn't have fun, because we did, because we were told that it was going to be a cakewalk. Yeah. But after that shock of losing the first game, and then actually losing the thing in Canada.
Getting up 2-0 too at the time.
Yeah, well, we run out of gas.
Yeah.
We just run out of gas. We went to training camp August 14th. I remember that because it's my daughter's birthday, and I remember that day I had to leave. And we trained for 2.5, 3 weeks, I think it was, before we started against these guys. And actually, the training camps were tough because Ferguson was a tough disciplinarian, and I thought it was okay. But when we went to Russia, though, we were a team, Don.
With their turban. All right, here we are again. Jeez, I'm good looking, aren't I? I mean, what are you going to do with these two guys? All right, fighting in the game. First of all, I know you like it.
Well, you want to win.
Yeah. You haven't lost any yet, have you?
Close.
Close?
Yeah.
Ties? You never say you lose. They're always
You
ties.
can't say you lose.
So what do you think of it, fighting in the game? They want to get it out. What's going on here?
I think it's right to have it. I agree with having it.
Well, that's why you're on the show. Go ahead, Kirk.
I guess just
You
answer
throw
my
them. I
question.
got pictures of you throwing them.
Well, yeah, I show up.
That's the main thing, though.
No, it's, I don't know. I think the way the game is right now with, as long as you can keep the stick work out. I think, and that's the only way I know right now is to keep the fighting in. But That's where it's more dangerous, no doubt, and it's been proven is you get the guys going around and keeping the sticks up and using them. That's when all the cuts get going and the injuries.
Dougie Gilmour, in the 3 series that he was in, had 38 stitches.
Now, tell us about that 10-point night. I'll never forget it.
Well, first of all, thanks for leaving Dave Reese in there. I mean,
Yeah. I'll tell you about that later, why I did. You want me to tell you first?
no.
Okay. Well,
That
tell
was
us
one of
about
those nights where I couldn't do anything wrong. I mean, there are other games I really believed I played as well or better, but every time I passed it to Lanny or Borja or Tiger or...
Went off feet?
Tiger.
There
Yeah,
were a couple went off
the
park.
last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Park-
behind the net. I was trying to center the puck out to Errol Thompson in the slot, hit Brad Park's legs. Dave Reese had his open again, and there it was.
You got that clip, you know, Blue, she always has it. And just to prove that we're not, we're not prejudiced or anything, we're going to show it right now. Go ahead, Blue, roll that there massacre. Okay, now we're doing pretty good there. There's Park. Go ahead, talk to him.
There's Lanny, and Lanny can score from anywhere. There his famous wrist shot. He pulls into his body and lets it go, and over 500 goes. Whoops.
Cross-check one of my
Got
guys.
hit
Nice.
there. Now, here's Turnbull, and he can shoot the puck as hard as anybody.
Whoa.
Reese couldn't have stopped that one.
No, I guess not.
And Borja Salming, great player. I bat this one right out of the air. That's when it started. Yeah, I didn't show that.
Couldn't show the one that went off Park's foot.
Oh, well.
All right, now I'm going to tell you what happened there. Cheevers had just come back from the WHA. This was his first game dressed. Never figured this was going to happen. But Davey Reese in, good guy. He just couldn't stop pucks, that's all. And put him in. So after it was about 7, I looked down at Cheevers. You know, I looked down at him like that. He put a towel over his head like that for the rest of the game. That was it. We never saw him again. But I couldn't throw him in there because he hadn't played in about a month and a half for the WHA and that. And the next night, didn't matter. The next night we went and shut out Detroit. And
Dave Reese never played another game after that,
no,
did he?
that was the end. Tell a story. Go ahead. Some of these people haven't heard what happened.
Well, I think everybody's heard it. Grapes have said it so many times.
Do it again.
Well, when he got back to Boston, they called him in the next morning to send him down to the minors. Harry Sinden, your buddy.
Yeah.
And I guess he was so down and dejected from the game the night before and getting sent to the minors, he went out the subway lines there, jumped in front of a train, but it went through his legs, so he's still around today.
Remember Red Berenson now? You remember the Red Baron.
Oh, yeah. I'd gone through my whole junior career, first couple years of pro without a serious injury. My wife presented me with a child the night before, a premature child, weighed 6 pounds, very tough night, and I never went to bed all night. And the first shift down the ice, Red Berenson was a great American League player. He comes down in grapes, and I wasn't sharp that night, and usually when a player come down on grapes, I felt I had to be sharp to bail us out. And anyway, he danced around grapes like I expected and let a routine shot go, and I missed it, and that was the first time I got seriously injured. I lost all my teeth and 40 stitches. And I want to thank you, or else I would have
Oh, that's good.
I would never been a complete hockey player.
Crow made you go back, didn't he? Joe Crozier?
I got stitched up and finished the game.
Yeah, stitched up, knocked all the
You
teeth.
got benched.
I got benched. Well, what else is new?
I'm always asked, ask Daddy, what is All-Star game? If you ever get him on, now what's your All-Star? Start just the six guys.
Well, no, it isn't so difficult. I'm going to have duplication in a few positions, if
All
you
right.
don't mind.
All right.
Terry Sawchuk would be my goaltender.
Okay. Yeah. Beauty.
Doug Harvey and Orr.
Oh.
Well, no question there. On left wing, Bobby Hull.
Yeah. Kill you with that shot.
And I'm going to have duplication at center. Gretzky and Beliveau. Now, don't call me a homer. Beliveau was a great,
No,
great
I like Beliveau. He's a good guy.
And I cannot pick Gordie Howe and leave Rocket Richard off, and I cannot pick Rocket Richard and leave Gordie Howe off, so I pick both of them.
Right.
Imagine the great, I leave off a guy like Bossy. So you know how difficult it is. But you asked me for
All right, that's good. Now, the Rockets got to be the most exciting hockey player.
No question about it. I was singularly lucky to get the job in Montreal, to be in the right place at the right time, but to come when the Rocket was in his heyday. And you had to be a pretty dumb broadcaster not to make the game sound exciting when he was there. You know, he knew one thing, and he knew it well, and he had dedication and love that many hockey players today could copy. Go down and put that puck in the net, and that backhand from the wrong wing. And you know what? His ability to come through in the clutch. Look at the record books. He's got 6 overtime goals in the playoffs.
Real pleasure. Welcome. Real pleasure to see you.
I know you've always wanted to be on TV with him, but go ahead.
I'm sure a lot of the fans would like to know this as well. How you got the number 9?
Holy geez, that's a long time ago. That was when I started playing with Montreal Canadiens. Not in my first year, the second year. My wife was pregnant. Is that the way you say it?
Having a baby. Having a baby.
I was going to have a baby.
Yeah.
And I was out playing an exhibition game in Cornwall. And after the game, I got a phone call that my wife had the baby girl, 9 pounds. And before that, Dick Irvin asked me if you got a baby, just let me know how much he weighs and everything. So he says, your baby weighs 9 pounds, so I'll give you the number 9, because number 9 was Charlie Sender was used to play with Canadian, but he left a few days before. He didn't stay for training camp.
Isn't that great?
And that's how I got my number 9.
Every great hockey player after that, right, Dick, wanted 9, and Gretzky wanted 99.
All
right, now, we're going to talk about one that everybody tells me. I'm walking along the street in Montreal, they come up to me and say, Don, there's a game I remember. Now, see, let me tell you, let me guess. It's 1979, right? 75. Now, tell us what went through your mind. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. So tell us what happened.
1 minute 15 left in the third period. We're getting beat 3-2, and we're out of it.
Curtains for you guys.
Everybody said we're losing it, and we better start to pack. And suddenly, whoops, Jonathan jumped on the ice, and you got cut too many guys.
There he is again.
Thank you, John.
Yeah. But tell us how the play started now. You picked it up in your own end, right?
Yeah, I gave it to Lemaire, and Lemaire went inside the blue line. About maybe...
Looked offside to me, too.
No, he wasn't. 25 feet inside, drop it back, and Gilbert was in the net.
Yeah, he'd played great up until then.
He's so sweet. Anyhow,
tell me when Blue became a hockey fan. In your mind, when could you sense that she knew what was going on?
Well, when she saw Stan Jonathan give it to Bouchard, she says, that's my type of game. And she loved it. I know a lot of people don't like that. But how Blue got into it was one night, Harry never liked this either, that somebody asked me, who are you going to play tomorrow night? And I said, well, I talked it over with Blue. I'm going to play Cheevers. And I thought it was a pretty good joke, but Harry never appreciated it, and I don't know why. I talked it over, so the next night I said Gilbert, and it went from there, and now she's a living legend. She might even get on Bobby Orr's Hockey Legends. Well, Noon Land can, so anybody can.
He's talking to old Blue. There's lots of heroes from the sports world, too. So when you want to have a good time, come on down to the Grapevine.